Welcome back to episode 285 of the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast.
This is it, Toronto Spring Expo. We're not just going to a card show, we're entering hockey card heaven.
Skates on chrome, wax in flight. Expo lights up the Thursday night. Tables deep, the slabs all shine. We're chasing grails one card at a time. From Gretzky gems to Young Guns heat, the floor's electric, feel that beat. Deals get made, the vibes are loud. Gong Show crew, we're Expo proud. Blur, this is hockey card heaven where legends meet. Toronto's calling, and we're bringing the heat. Springtime buzz, that Expo high. Stacks in hand and our goals in sight. Table to table, hearts racing fast. One more case, one more blast. Patch autos, parallels, shimmering glow. It's more than a hobby, it's all that we know. Hockey card heaven can't be beat. This is the spring where collectors meet. Gong Show Thursday, preview and play. We're Expo bound, let's go all day.
Where's your glow sticks, Bill?
See in Toronto, Spring Expo 2025.
All right, enough.
Yeah, that's very poppy of you. Very radio poppy.
Kind of EDM. That's what I was going for.
Oh, was it? Oh,
What's EDM?
electronic music?
Dance, like electronic dance music.
That's what you call it?
It's like
listen
a
to that.
general.
called.
It's a general term.
I listen to stuff all the time. I've never called it that, so whatever.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. It's popular. Well, welcome back. We're recording this the next day from when we recorded our last episode. I don't think we've ever done this before, but we're pre-recording after last recordings because we're going to be in
I get
Toronto
it. Yeah.
when this drops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to keep these time continuum straight when you do a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, that broke my brain a little thinking about
Mhm.
that. I was like, wait, what? It's Wednesday, Thursday today, right?
And I am as unorganized as you could possibly be right now.
Thank you.
I think you're doing great, Louis.
Oh my god,
You're fine. Just relax, dude. Just have fun. This is our Expo preview show. It's about having fun. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation.
Do your
as
Eagles, you'll
we
be fine.
Are about to drive 20 hours to get to Toronto.
20
Bill's
hours.
gonna-
Which way you going?
That's less than that.
You going around Michigan? Like
We're
top or
going
bottom?
through
No.
Venezuela.
No.
Yeah,
The bottom or the top?
Oh,
I guess
down and around Chicago
down and
up
around.
to
Okay,
Michigan.
down and around, yeah. You going eastbound and down around or?
Mhm.
I will never get over the fact that we actually we're going to head south to Toronto.
Yeah,
That's the fact.
Yeah, that's funny.
the over
You're north of
under.
Toronto too, right?
Pardon?
You're north of Toronto too, right?
That is
Technically?
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Not far, like 5 hours, 400 kilometers. It's like
Mhm.
250 miles, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know kilometers, so
The rest of the world
There's
does.
some
You guys are okay. You're fine. We'll take care of you.
I know. Okay. Have a fun show planned for today.
mhm.
But first, just a couple announcements, shorter than normal. We are going to still do Friday nights with Phil, right? Live from the Chateau
Yes.
Gong Show.
It's going to be kind of a gorilla thing. Oh, that's a good picture of me. I don't like my double chin. Who did you add that in? Is that real? Read it.
Is that a triple chin I see?
Oh, it's driving me nuts. I'm not
Quadruple chin?
chunky. Why? I don't know. I don't like how it's sagging here.
Stop eating 75 donuts at a time.
Yeah, listen, donuts are not my
Hint.
problem. Okay. What were we talking about? Yes, Friday nights with Phil. So Dave, my sidekick, my co-host, my partner in crime, my ride or die in the hobby media. He's getting a cup tin. So now that I'm saying it on here, is this airing Sunday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay, yeah. So tune in to Friday nights with Phil because Dave's gonna open a cup tin. And,
Is that when you guys decided to open it Friday night?
that's when I'm saying it now. I haven't talked to Dave about this yet, so I'm going to call him
Imagine
after
that.
this. Yeah. And then I figured if that doesn't go well, then we'll just treat all my viewers, our viewers, to the
Pro Set.
case of Pro Set Series 1 rip. Yeah, they'll love that. It'll be the biggest show ever.
Quite the dichotomy between a tin of the cup and a case of Pro Set. But that's what we do here on the Gong Show. And Louis got you. We've been talking. We're going to kind of hook you all up tech-wise and make sure everything goes off without a hitch.
Fingers.
We are at a new house, so we'll see how that goes. And
it's
then...
close. It's close to the other one.
I just hope they have good internet. That's what I'm worried about.
They do, Josh. Everybody has good internet except where you live in Minnesota.
I do.
Oh.
I don't know why you're worried about. Toronto's the 4th biggest city in North America. Why would it not have amazing internet?
Shots fired!
We have the Mall of America.
Yeah, and crappy internet. So I'll take no Mall of Canada, and I'll take better internet.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little combative today. I just finished work. I apologize.
You were combative yesterday too. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Stuck a quarter in you. A couple other little things on the show announcement front. So we will have a Monday show as well, an Expo wrap-up show. So we're gonna preview and wrap up. And we're gonna do our first ever podcast all together. It'll be a togetherness thing. Me, Baba Louie, Phil from Canada, and California Dave, and maybe some other guests too. We're gonna do it. We're gonna record it from the chateau, so you can look forward to that. And then, well, because it happened, we can kind of announce this. Then then next Thursday, not so a week from today, we just had an amazing conversation, right, Phil, with former NHL goalie Tim Shovelday, played for the Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets, and the Boston Bruins, I believe. And he had some amazing stories, Wayne Gretzky stories, and who else? Like Nicholas Lidstrom, Sergei Fedorov stories.
Yeah, he downplayed a lot. I think he's got a few more in him there, eh? Get a couple of pops in him, maybe burn one down, and the stories will just start flowing.
So very, very much looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah. Louis was busy doing other things. Important adulting. Louis was adulting.
Adulting, yeah.
Yes. Okay, want to make a mention of our sponsors since this is a little bit of a atypical show. Just a quick shout out to First Lab Sharks. They're going to be at booth 1615 while at the Spring Expo. Of course, they'll be taking in consignment submissions, so drop your cards off to that right there, and they'll be in a couple weeks, I assume, in the Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction. And then if you want to chat with Sylvain,
hey boy,
you just ask for Princess, right?
You just yell it. Just sprinkle fairy dust, and he'll come running with his little PSA Slab Sharks for him. Hey boy, yeah, like that.
Okay. So yeah, make sure you hit up Slab Sharks at the show, and they're going to be business as usual. If you're not at the expo, you can participate in the Thursday night auction that ends tonight too. Mint Inc. is booth 2010. It's a spot to get your hobby boxes and singles, especially the hobby boxes for the Upper Deck Rapper Redemption Program. Also, you cannot miss, if you're at the expo, their huge trade night Saturday night immediately after the show ends at the International Center. There's a $5 entry fee. That's basically a donation to the Mackenzie Health Foundation. It'll be lit, as Louis always says. So if that's not reason to go, I don't know what is.
What it is. What it is.
And then finally, GP Sports Cards is booth 1006. Grant, he said, well, we'll find out later, but many, many cases, and he'll be of singles he'll be buying at the show. And then he's teamed up with Jeremy Lee to make the Thursday night networking event even bigger. It's a new location. Arizona is about 5 minutes away from the International Center. Starts at 8 p.m. Grant will be opening a case of the cup with Upper Deck's Billy Cilio, who makes a surprise appearance on today's show.
He does?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
No, that's what all of our preview interviews are playing on today's show.
Oh, well, the Billy one seems like ages and ages ago.
Yeah, that's about 4 days ago, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, they're opening a cup or a case of the cup. You're opening a tin. They outdid you.
I have empty tins that I can just stare at my house. At least Dave's one has contents in it. Yeah, what's Grant doing with the cards? Is he keeping them, or is he going to donate them?
I think it's a break he sold.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, and then lastly, a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast, is a Patreon podcast. You can support us for as little as $5 US a month. Still be one of the first 299 supporters of our show. Getting close to the end of that, I think. You forever get that title. You get access to our Discord server, the website, the
What?
hobby's hottest place for lonely men.
Yeah, let's go. Make friends. Yeah, I'll talk about it after too.
Okay,
Like you
all right.
guys.
Yeah. And we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. There's a bracket challenge right now for the playoffs. We just wrapped up fantasy hockey. The scavenger hunt is going on for the playoffs where you can win 24, 25 upper deck box of Black Diamond. What else? 5K challenge is going to wrap up here in a couple months. Just tons of stuff. There's an interactive map that they're building in there. It's a whole thing.
Map
A
for
lot
what?
of fun. Well, you can, everyone's like sending in like your coordinates and then hobby shops near you. And it's just a map of everyone in the Gong Show family.
Like longitude, latitude?
No, like for us, our zip code, but for you, your postal, whatever.
Code. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I don't know my longitude, latitude, so I'm glad it's
Mm-mm.
postal code.
It's 4 and B. That's yours.
That's not that's not a number.
Well, if you want to join the family and support us, it's very easy to do. Go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for us, Hockey Cards Gong Show. Or if you don't want to do that, there's a link in the show description, whether you're watching on YouTube or podcast app, and our Instagram, TikTok profile too. Phil, you had something you wanted to say.
Hobby news.
Well, you really are out of sorts right now.
No, dude, I just got home like 12 minutes ago, man. I could think okay.
Well, you were talking about lonely men, and then you said you were going to say something after.
No, I'm going to say it later when we're going to talk about the expo, and I'm going to segue into it. I wrote it all down so I wouldn't have to do a lot of thinking now.
That's good.
Okay, I'll pull up. I have the show notes up now. I'm sorry.
Your brain no worky right now. So, all right, Babalu, you want to do the game plan? We'll get rolling.
Sure. Let's see how this is going to work out. I think I got it all messed up this time.
Okay, good.
All right. 1 second.
Snafu.
No, it is kind of a snafu, but we got it. Game plan for today. What we are all looking forward to the most, being in Toronto at the Expo. Then we'll throw out some tips for Expo success. Then we have an interview with Grant Paterson, a little Expo preview, and another interview with Mikey Singer, Mr. Awesome, that puts it all together.
Yep.
At this giant cluster. I don't know how he does it, but God bless him.
A lot of people. Yeah, he gets his job.
He gets paid. That's a good start.
There we go. Okay, so I thought we'd just start with a little roundtable conversation about kind of what we're excited about, why the expo is so meaningful to us. I wrote down a few things. We can frickin' frack. You can chime in with your own thoughts, opinions, emotions. Phil will cry, I'm sure, repeatedly. Do you need a tissue, Phil? I know this is an emotional topic.
Tissue for your issue. That's not funny.
Yeah.
What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Austin Powers, part 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe part 3. I'm not sure. Go ahead, Josh.
How embarrassing for you. Okay, so I actually have a bunch of reasons why I like the expo, so it's a good thing I'm going. The first, why I'm very, very excited for this week is it's really the twice a year our Gong Show band gets together. So the band is getting back together, right? And so I get to see Phil. I get to see Louis all the time, which is nice. But then Dave and Sylvan portals in from Moncton or whatever.
Portals in.
Hey
boy.
That he's from. And Hasselhoff get to see the better version of a Marsh. And yeah. So I'm excited to see you, Phil. Can't wait to
ditto.
Yeah, big fan. Like getting the band together.
Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, it's just people is going to be a big theme here right away, right? So getting to meet the people at the show, I'm a little curious and hopeful that we're going to meet a lot of listeners that we haven't had the opportunity to say hello to before. Our small and mighty community of lonely men, as Phil put it, has grown a lot since fall. And, so hopefully people from that listen or watch the show will come up and say hello. Don't be afraid. I've never gone to the expo without getting messages where someone's like, I saw you. I wanted to say hi, but I didn't want to bug you.
I like that.
Really?
So you can bug
I-
Josh and myself.
You can, yeah. I don't know.
You don't want to meet people?
I just want to get my cards first. That's where I struggle. Like I know you're being sweet and affectionate, and I'd like to think after my prickly out edges, I'm sweet and affectionate as well. But I just really want to get my cards, and then it's game on. Yeah, then it's like socialize, have fun. We'll do the salsa, like all that stuff. Yeah,
The salsa.
I don't
Isn't it
know.
the dance
I
or
like
the
dancing.
food?
I like both. I love chips and salsa, and I love dancing.
Great to meet you. Here's a spoon of salsa. Eat it.
Put a flower in her ear.
It's the main reason why I go, right? Cards are secondary for me. So if Phil's shopping for cards, don't bother him.
I'm just being a jerk. I'm just playing around.
He'll yell at you. No, but definitely come up to us and don't message me saying I don't want to bother you, because
That will annoy Josh more. I guarantee you. We know Josh. Josh is not Mr. I don't think all three of us are any good at DMs and all that. We're very terrible at that. Much better in person. Much rather meet you and see your face in your meat vehicle, you know?
Take advantage of it. Josh never usually was that kind of guy. He just kind of wanted to dip in, dip out of it. He wasn't like a super people person.
Like Troy.
Still not.
Troy, Troy hide me. I'm like, you got it, big boy.
Troy would hide in the
trade
conference room place
the
whole time. Yeah. Got overwhelmed, but I understand that. So, one of the aspects of now being to the show like the 5th or 6th time that I'm really excited about, because I like familiarity. That's comforting to me. That's a little bit why I'm stressed out with the new house. And sort of there's going to be a lot of familiar faces as well, and hopefully a lot of new faces. And I'm very excited to see friends and friendly people that I'm friendly with that, have met over the few years now attending the show.
Have you met Dylan's cards yet? You know Dylan from Vancouver, I think Alberta or BC. Dylan's cards.
I don't know. I think so.
Dave has. He's someone I was very upset I didn't meet last time. I've had a good chat with him. Dylan, if you're listening, come find me. Yeah, he pulled the I didn't want to bother you thing.
Oh, but what if you're shopping for cards though?
Yeah.
No, I'm being silly. Bother me whenever you want. Come on, we're all in Disneyland. Let's have fun.
A big focus of ours that we've been talking a lot about as a group is we want to make a bunch of new connections, like businessy stuff, because mainly, we are already in the initial stages of planning the return of Rip Party in fall, and we fully intend to go bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah,
and we got a lot to top. It's gonna be tough to top the last one, so we got to get our S together, boys, and beg people to donate a bunch of free stuff to give away.
Don't downplay that one. That is, if we have 3 priorities, that's absolutely in the 3 priorities. We want to give the best Rip Party. Well, we have one to compare to, so we want it better to be the other one. But I'm going hard. I'm networking. I'm going to shake hands, rub shoulders. We have a total plan to try and milk the hobby to give back to the hobby, right? The hobby takes a lot and we give a lot. But we want to give back to the hobby. And it'd be nice if we can figure out the shipping, because that hit us in the pocket.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus, man. Can't do so
that was expensive.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that stuff out loud, but we're gonna figure that out.
No. Yeah, that's called a shipping sponsor. So if you own a shipping company and you want, and believe me, we will very enthusiastically promote you to take that off of our plate. We will be big fans.
The money, the logistics, like, oh my God, that was, did I tell you guys a woman came up to me at the Quebec City show? She's like, where's my prize? I'm like, oh my God. That was terrifying. So I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, it was not fun, but we did it and we were happy to do it. And it was a small price to pay for an amazing evening. And so very happy about that. Is a big focus. Like we are, we got to put on our business faces and voices. And
I'm learning the business face. Yeah. I like handshakes.
Sell.
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We also because we don't have like anything official planned, but we can't just like let well enough be. I guess we're already like in the midst of planning a whole bunch of content.
Yep. I'm gonna
We
come
want to
chase
just
this. I'm gonna come
record.
chase everybody down with a camera.
Yeah, Louis going to have a camera on. Phil is going to probably make some bunch of videos after. We want to record a lot of footage at the chateau and give kind of everyone the experience of, the frat house for old people.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a frat house for a bunch of guys that go to bed at 8 p.m.
Hey, Phil, you want to split a beer?
Yeah, no, I didn't have one beer last. Did I? I think I might have had one beer. Yeah. I don't know.
You did murder a piece of cake, though.
Oh, there'll be lots of murdering of the chocolate. Yeah, get ready, boys.
Oh, that was it. So, and we also we're going to record a lot at the show. Yeah. So hopefully get a lot of content. I have the opportunity to interview Cujo, Curtis Joseph.
Nice.
At the show. Paul Henderson. I don't know a lot about Paul. I gotta.
You get to. He's a Canadian legend, brother. They should be in the Hall of Fame. That's the big. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Paul Henderson, yes, is a big deal up here. Major deal. Yeah. Major deal. That's a great
for the blue
honor.
team, right?
He played. Yes, he played for he played for Team Canada, and that's what he's remembered for. Yeah. He's not really remembered for his NHL play. I mean, he is, but he's got the original golden goal. So
then I'm going to get the opportunity, I think, to be on 2, I think it is, content panels. So I'm looking forward to that. I always laugh at those because it's a bunch of like young, hip and with it, like social media influencers and
Who? Who?
I don't know.
You do know. You just don't want to say it.
I'm afraid what you're going to say.
Yeah, we can edit the video. Who is it?
Just have a good time, Josh.
All right.
No, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I like doing those.
I'm heckling.
I know one of them is with Jeremy Lee.
Yeah, well, Jerry's a buddy. If I can make fun of Jeremy, but it's not as funny.
Long-haired Shardy, Jeremy Lee.
Yeah.
Shardy.
And then I have 2 more. Hanging out at the chateau. I think that's my favorite part. I kind of I wish that there was like reason enough for everybody, because the expo provides a reason to go. But I almost wish that there was like a third expo where there wasn't an expo and we just got a chateau and didn't have to leave.
Like at a ski lodge or something. I don't ski, but that sounds fun.
Yeah.
The
house or my like friends nights and that stuff at the house. That's my favorite part. And that's why we want to, I think, capture a lot of that with content to show kind of how awesome it is and how the making friendships through the hobby and having events like the expo can make it so much better and more fun than just the cardboard.
Because you can have your own expo chateau, right? Like, listen, join our Discord, or if you're already in there, why don't you rent the house beside us next time? Or we find like we can have a whole network of chateaus, right?
A chateau?
Ooh.
Three.
And then we could hire like dancers to like surprise us when we get there. Oh, dude, it'll be great.
Out of a cake or something like that?
Yeah, whatever. Well,
happy birthday, Mr. President sort of deal. That's what you want to go with?
Works for me, Josh. I think that was a great idea.
I'll bring the new hobby pole.
Need something bigger, Louis.
And then I want to find some cards, and I really, really want so bad either a Pavel Bure or OV 2016 O-Pee-Chee in good condition, and that's what I want.
And there won't be one.
I don't think so.
I hope I see it before you. I like doubles of my cards.
Yeah.
You'll be sleeping in the garage.
I will not.
I can tell you.
No.
Hey,
what do you guys have to add that you're looking forward to?
I got a little insight from a couple little birdies that, maybe hooked me up with a really nice Credentials Crosby that might be floating around.
Ooh.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, show me what it looks like.
I've never seen one of those.
Oh,
yep.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's overexposed. It's overexposed. The light, the gamma rays are damaging it. You're just not taking care of it.
We could be card bros, dude.
We're all card bros. We have orgies of our cards. What are you talking about? It's crazy.
No, we don't. Wouldn't it be awesome? Because there are 87 of these. What if like you had one, Louis, and Dave had one, and Sylvan had one, and Hasselhoff had one, but
then Neil got one.
If Hasselhoff has one, it's mine. Okay.
Flyers collector, Irish guy.
Yeah. John JBD Gloss High CB. Got one.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Louis,
Anyways,
what are you
I
looking
got to
forward
think
to?
of something else to say because I'm going to be repeating half of you. I love getting back together though with all the boys back at the chateau. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one of the big things I like doing at this show specifically is seeing all the rare cards. Like, I talked about it before. You see things, if you're from the States, at least for sure, you see things that you do not see here. And it's really cool to see the old stuff and chat with whoever's selling them about the cards and stuff. And most of the time, these guys seem to like to talk about them too, and history and all that stuff with them. It's always fun to meet new people and people from the Discord or people that have maybe not in there but messaged on YouTube comments in the shows or in what's that other one called? Discord? No, Instagram. Boy. Whew.
We're not old.
You're doing great,
No.
Louis. Keep going. Keep going.
What else?
You
Seeing
gotta
others.
get them dare social media is where you
Yeah.
do those like picture things, and then you tell people, what did you have for breakfast today?
Who's
Mhm.
picking on you in the comments? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Seeing others that I've met in the past. Just it's kind of like could be a whole shoot the breeze days at the expo. So it's really fun. And see what other types of connections we can make at the show. I want to like the other two. I don't know how we can blow Rip Party 1 out of the water, but
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we can do as much as possible to give back to
We're gonna
the
have a very
hobby,
long
make
car
it
ride
fun.
to start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone has
Um,
any ideas too,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
all game for it.
yeah, throw them out. I'm
Yeah.
game for ideas. Yeah, we were blessed last year. It was amazing. So,
Yep.
I don't, there's, you can have all these, what you're excited to do, but once you get there, if you really had plans, they all kind of change. It's just,
You got to go with the flow a little bit. You
Yes.
can't be regimented in your routine.
So that's
What about like Soul Train meets Rip Party?
Dude,
Where you
let's
have,
talk about that.
Music. You can't. Stupid.
Yeah. No. We can have lots of music at Rip Party because I found 2 websites that people are creating some beautiful like non-copyrighted music, whether it's
Mhm.
AI or not. Everyone's contributing. We can have 100
Yeah.
hours of good music.
I don't believe in AI music, so
Okay. Anyways. All right. I'm
sing
gonna go
everything
here.
myself.
Okay, listen. Good listener. I cannot stress enough on how high of a frequency my cells are buzzing right now. The pandemic was very hard on all of us, some much harder than others. I personally am still feeling the effects of that peculiar time in history. So what the heck does the pandemic have to do with the upcoming expo? Everything. I've always been a happy guy waking up. I've always been ready to tackle my day with the biggest smile, and I was ready to tackle my day with good or bad decisions that I was making. Okay. And I was always smiling. Doesn't matter. My enthusiasm was always present. Not that long ago. COVID slaughtered my soul, my sanity, and my wallet and my business, everything. It was not, I don't have one good thing to say about it except one thing. One, I decided to suck up my quivering bottom lip and I hit up the very first expo that Steve Menzie put on right after COVID. And I kind of drove with a frown on my head. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing this for. I'm in no position to be spending this money. Well, that was okay at that time. Boys, it was the best decision I've ever made. It's up there, top 10. I met our captain right here, Joshy Poo, and our founding member, Troy. That's all she wrote on that one. And then fast forward to today, we're still writing that story, literally and metaphorically. Met Louis through them as well. My head was very, very grumpy pants filled day in and day out. And that guy still pops his head out sometimes. But events like the expo, that's medicine. I know that sounds silly, but I really feel my eyes, the colors are brighter again. My head is up. I'm not staring at the floor walking. I don't know why I'm turning into that sometimes, but the expo is medicine. So good listener, if you're on the fence, I implore you to take a chance. It's not only about the cards, even though the cards are the stars and the cards are a big part of it. Cole and I showed up with 0 friends 3 or 4 years ago. Not one. I actually haven't had any hobby friends growing up. They always come in and come out. They go hard and they go hard out. I've never had a long-term hobby friend. My friend Jeff from Ottawa, maybe, but nothing over 10 years, not even close. So, yeah, Cole and I showed up with 0 friends. And honestly, I don't really like people that much, but I like people that are cut of the same jib like me, and they're everywhere. They're great. I'm a weirdo. You're all weirdos. I mean, if you're listening to this, you got to be a weirdo, right? So there's tons of more weirdos there. It's fantastic. So, yeah, it's kind of impossible with my yapper, and sure enough, I wasn't really planning on making friends, but I don't stop talking. We got out invited for dinner with random strangers. I'm still friends with those random strangers from 4 years ago. I still am.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's not you, Josh, the other people before I met you.
Oh, yeah, we're not friends.
Okay,
So,
yeah, no.
couldn't have been
We're
me.
business associates.
Yeah,
So
I've never heard of anybody being like murdered by a sweaty man card collector liker person ever. So
That's probably happened.
it's probably happened. Yeah. Well, OJ did a few bad things. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you. So come to the expo. Find your crew. You will always be part of the Gong Show crew, always, forever and always. But find a good subset crew. Get your own chateau and put your stank on it. Unless you get a flat tire and then the guy who stopped to help you with the flat tire robs you, okay, fine. You're going to have a bad expo. But that's probably not going to happen. So I promise you'll have a good time. If you're on the fence, just go, babe, I really think I should go to the expo. It'd be good medicine for me. Do something like that. And
Would it be better at home?
Yeah. Do you want me on eBay at home sulking the whole time? No. So I just wanted to say a little blurb. If a lot of people I meet are always like, yeah, I was going to go, but it just didn't work out. Make it work. Make it work out. And yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I have a question.
All right.
So you're talking about like not having a lot of hobby friends. When
Yeah.
I met you and I came up to you because I was a fan of your videos.
I know.
And I heard your voice. I'm still a fan of your videos, by the way.
Thank you.
Big fan. And how long had you known Sylvan? Because you guys seem pretty chummy,
Yes.
right? Was that a new relationship?
Just a year before I met you.
Okay, where did you meet Sylvan?
I overpaid for a Brady Kachuk inscribed Future Watch. Yeah.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
just hit it off, 2 peas in a
Well,
pod? or what?
he saw Cash Cow. I saw Dealer, and we've been friends ever since.
Okay, yeah, it's a sucker. That's what he said.
Well, he had Danielle with him too, and she's pretty, so I gravitate
Okay.
towards pretty women. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little helpless in that area. That was
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for saying that. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to get preachy by any stretch because I don't like that. But it is, and I told this story a lot, it's not my natural inclination to put myself out there. I don't, like, I'm the type of person where, and my wife would laugh about this, like, my 7th layer of hell is at the grocery store when the checkout person starts to talk to you.
How's your day? You're like, mm-hmm.
Mhm. And they tell you about their life and they ask you about your life. It's just like, I just want to sit here and be alone and please don't talk to me. And it makes me like an a-hole. I get that. And, my wife, God bless her soul, will be like, she'll have a full on conversation. Like they've been best friends.
Jenny's an empath, though, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
The world needs Jenny's, but I hear you.
And I never like met like friends online or anything like that. But when you decided to do a podcast and people started listening, it's like I kind of told myself, oh, well, you have to put yourself out there, right? And I'm so glad I did, because had I never walked up to you and introduced
tapped me on
myself,
the shoulder. I'm like, who is this large man? Hello? You're like, hey,
and I robbed you.
Yeah, you robbed me on my Crosby Central credential.
Mhm. So yeah, and that's like part of what we've tried to do with our Discord and our community is to help foster other people. At the fall show, there's a group of guys from Discord that had their own chateau.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
We
was
met
amazing.
Dave through Discord, right?
Mhm.
Dave California
Yep.
Dave. Yeah, my co-host, my ride or die in the hobby now. He's from Discord.
Yeah. So very, very much looking forward to this week. Now, before we get into our interviews, I did want to, some of these are going to be a little bit retread, but they're worth repeating even quickly. Just tips for success. This is like rapid fire. Okay.
Get
We'll
the obvious
do this
out of the
thing
way.
out of the way, right? Wear comfortable shoes. You're gonna be on your feet all day. Don't try to look good. Just try to be comfortable. You will not regret that.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
a
whatever's comfortable for you, and that could be a lot of different things because my Ariat cowboy boots are very comfortable.
You could be on those all day at a show and your feet
Oh,
wouldn't hurt.
absolutely.
Cowboy boots? Yeah, cowboy boots are very comfortable.
I don't think I can pull cowboy boots off.
Like
Anyone
off your
can
foot
pull
or
off
wear them.
cowboy boots.
No.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you have cowboy
could.
boots, Phil?
No, not anymore. No, I used to.
Oh,
Did you?
Yeah, they're very
Did
comfortable.
you have like some like exotic like armadillo cowboy boots? Or
No,
something?
no. I just got not a great pair from a buddy, and I was like, I'm not wearing these are pretty nice. And they form fit to your feet, right? You don't share cowboy boots like they're yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind do you have? What do you have, leather ones, or do you have like water buffalo cowboy boots? What do you got, Louis?
no, there's just leather cowboy boots. Just a handful
Alligator?
of different pairs. No, I don't go that.
No.
Not that
Rattlesnake?
crazy.
Rattlesnake?
That'd be
No.
okay. Wear comfortable shoes.
Mhm.
Expect parking to be a challenge, especially on Saturday. Saturday gets nuts. If you're gonna park or drive and park, go early. Don't. If you get there at 11 to noon,
You're done.
you're done. You're not. You're gonna be very angry, and you're not gonna find parking. You're gonna have to park a long ways away and walk. So just be prepared for that. And these are a huge convention center. So if you have to park like on the other side, I mean, you're looking at like a 25-minute walk.
I say Uber. If you're coming on Saturday, I say you should Uber. Spend the money to Uber. You will have I don't handle parking tight spots like that. Everyone's you see the worst of everybody in that parking lot. I'm Ubering.
Yeah.
Well, the
Remember
big problem
when
we had. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say when Slapsharks was gracious enough to provide a recording space for us, and we had to set up a studio.
Oh, that was horrible.
They wouldn't even let us. They wouldn't let us drop our stuff off. We're like,
no, it's crazy.
Well, how do we get our equipment in if we're not allowed to drop it off?
It was faster to go through the civilian entrance than the dealer entrance. I used the dealer entrance twice. Forget this. I'm done. Because they don't communicate with the parking lot staff. You just have to trust us. We didn't have like one bad experience. This is the way it is. The people inside don't really talk to the people outside, and it is a poop show. Uber, especially this Saturday. That's what I'm saying.
What do you want to chime in with, Louis?
I'm just trying to look and see what else is going on at the.
Oh yeah, because
sometimes there's multiple things. Yeah.
Oh, I hope it's not something with kids. Oh my
cabin life.
Yeah, if it's just us, well, if it's just the card expo, yeah, you might have to park in the back 40, but 2 years ago there was something else going on there, and it was
there was the women's shoes thing. You don't remember? It was women's shoes. It was horrible. Oh my god.
I don't want to. They said cottage life, which is ridiculous, like Hansel and Gretel, but cabin life kind of thing, where I think for people outfitting their like gingerbread houses or something like that. If it's a cottage, I don't know what it was, but
man, at the Ottawa show, they had like a newborn baby, like 6 months and under, like show.
How many of them were yours?
I'm still not recovered. What'd you say? What?
How many of them were yours?
I don't know. They're all out west. I told you.
Looks like there's a
show. Be like, you're my dad. What? No, get out of here, kid.
Those biggest mail days on Father's Day.
All right, quick fire, rapid fire. What's next?
Well, Louis, what do you got?
It looks like we might be just competing with a real estate, property, building, construction, houses, the property show.
Boring. A bunch of suits. Just run them over. In a nice
I'm going to make money on real estate. Now rental property.
I'm gonna take your money and make money off of it. Like the 80%
I'm going to short the market and invest in REITs.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are an American, I am. Hi, my name is Josh.
Hello.
Bring Canadian goose dollars, as Phil calls them, if you can. And I want to do a little addendum that Louis and I learned 2 days ago. Do not use airport currency exchanges.
Yeah.
It was shocking how much money they wanted to take, like hundreds of dollars to convert not that much. Louis was like frozen because his brain just couldn't compute what was happening. He was like, "What?" Where
Mhm.
You're making
we
how
had
much
like
off of this?
we had 1,250 US, right? Because we just wanted some Canadian cash, and it was supposed to be like almost 1,800 Canadian, which makes, I mean, that's like if you go on like Google, and he was like, "I'll give you $1,500." You're like,
Mm.
it costs 350 Canadian dollars to exchange this money at the, so I always thought like, and I've never done a currency exchange at an airport. Never doing one again. Well, we did. We left. We took our. We're like, because they have like the glass like bank teller thing where you can't rob them,
Yeah.
and we were like, would you mind sliding our money
Yeah.
to us? We're not
You
going
could
to
put
do
like a
it
little straw underneath there and gas them out.
because you have to order money in advance here, and it takes like 10 days. And of course, us being very organized, we didn't
Well,
do
Yeah.
that.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't,
Wait, what?
I
10
didn't want to
days?
play. No. Well, so
Don't you go to the
I
bank?
was, yeah, I was with a
Yeah, from the
different
bank.
bank. I was with a different bank last year, and I went there and gave them money on a Wednesday, and I had it next date on Thursday. I'm not there anymore, but the other bank that I've been with forever, they're telling all their customers, no matter what, 7 to 10 days, just because it could be next day, it could be 2 or 3 days, but all the money comes from a certain hub. The one bank I know, they do theirs out of Chicago, but all our banks in the US, they hardly carry different currency because the rates are always doing the up and down thing. And if they buy it, high, and everybody comes,
They
2
don't want
months
to hold
later,
it.
yeah, they don't want to hold it because they could lose their butts on
Yeah.
losing money on it. So
I was like, Louis, what does it come from? Like sled dog? Why would it take 10 days to get
it shouldn't.
Canadian cash? So, but, and I think like you're going to chime in and echo as well. It is important if you're an American to
Yeah, don't do your
try to pay
exchange
in
up here.
Canadian.
Don't think it's the world got smaller. They'll just exchange it. Absolutely, most dealers will smile and say no problem. They're going to round to their favor. They're not going to give you any perks. They're not going to give you any deals, especially if you've already made like a pretty big deal on the card and negotiations went back and forth maybe 10 times. Then you whip out American. You don't want to do that. You don't. So if you can put the legwork in now, bring
Mhm.
your Canadian money, get it exchanged. I do apologize. I didn't know it takes possibly 7 to 10 days to do so. That's insane. Like, isn't a bank's job to have money on hand? Oh no, but the rates. Yeah, that's great. That sounds like a bank problem, not me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh god, that's
Yeah.
bonkers. I know I'm a little naive with this stuff, but maybe sometimes a naive perspective is showing you how ridiculous something is.
Well,
Mhm.
hey, just don't put it off like we did.
Yeah, just try. I mean, bring American if you have no other option, but if you can, absolutely
Mhm.
bring Canadian, big time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My next one is something that I learned the first show. Well, my biggest regret ever is you have to soak it in. There's so many cards, and I understand what happens. Like if you walk in and 15 minutes later and see that card that you kind of came to get, and I mean, the logical side of your brain would say, well, don't spend all your money or a big part of your budget 15 minutes, walk around a little bit, see what else is there. And then, but what happens more often than not is you do that, then you come back and you're like, oh, yeah, that is the card I want. I'm going to go back and get it. And poof, it's not there. So you got to be ready to pull the trigger. Don't be impulsive. But if you make a list before you go of like, okay, here's 3 cards that if I know that if I walk away
Yeah.
with at the show, I'll be happy. And you literally see it in the first 5 seconds, buy the card.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You won't regret that, I don't think. So,
I agree.
okay. And then talked about this a little bit, but again, just to reiterate, Take advantage of the opportunity to meet people. Go to the events. You're going to be tired, but push yourself. Just push yourself a little bit further than you normally would, a little bit out of your comfort zone, because there's a great chance to meet friends and you'll never regret that.
Well said.
Oh,
Job. Yeah. Oh, so cute.
Yeah. I would say if you're a player collector, kind of just jumping on what Josh said, if you're a player collector and you've been eyeing that card for like 6 months plus, even if it's a little expensive, 10, 20% more, but you haven't been able to find it on eBay for 6 months plus, buy the card, man. Don't be silly. Buy the card. And I mean that. Someone else is also looking for that card for 6 months plus. And a guy like me, 20% extra for a card I really want and been looking for, you're not getting in my way. Sure, sold. So don't get guys like me to swipe that card from you first.
Negotiate, ask for a deal. The worst that can happen is someone says no.
Yep.
And the dealer's not going to remember you. They're going to have talked to so many millions of people that, don't be ridiculous. But, if you ask for some money out.
Yeah. And if you're not coming out of left field, they're probably not going to bark at it too much. So it might be a little back and forth, but you want it, you'll get it.
Okay.
Trust me.
Let's move on into our chat with Grant Paterson.
Ooh.
So we had the opportunity the other day to catch up with Grant from GP Sports. We wanted to see what it's like setting up a really big booth at the biggest hockey show on earth. Grant is also breaking and co-hosting the Thursday night networking event. A good thing he's young, hey?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be like we were in fall. Run ragged. So a lot to catch up with him on, and we hope you enjoy our conversation with Grant. We're excited to welcome back Grant Paterson from GP Sports Cards back to the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast. What a week. Here we are leading up into the Expo. This, of course, in our Expo preview episode. But first of all, hey, Grant, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on it, guys. Excited for this week. Probably the Super Bowl of hockey cards. So prepping and getting excited.
Love the enthusiasm, Grant. It's awesome.
The exciting, dreadful week. Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's last minute sorting, getting excited, getting everything prepped, ready for the big show. A lot to do in a few days, but excited for the crazy weekend.
A lot of adult work for the kids to play, eh? That's what.
Yeah, I guess. How big is your booth at this show? I want to start there.
So this year we're actually still waiting for a response, but it's going to be either 7 or 8 booths. Jeremy's going to be paired up with us as well, so he'll be taking one of them. So if we go to 7, then it'll be our regular 6 with Jeremy as one, and then if we get the 8th booth, we want to sort of do like our whole island. We're working on the last corner piece right now. Steve, we'll see if we get that corner piece. So if we do, then we'll have like the 8 booth island there, right beside Upper Deck.
Nice.
And is that about the same size as you had for the Fall Expo, or is that bigger?
Yeah, same size, just adding one booth to it.
Well, one booth to it.
Yeah.
Now, about how many cards do you bring to fill up that space? Any idea?
So I was doing the math actually today, because I think last year it was 28 showcases, and then it's about 55 cards a showcase. So I'm trying to get 15 to 1,700 cards prepped for this show. So
price gun ready. Get the price gun ready.
A lot of late nights, I suppose, huh? I mean, and you have to do your there you go. You still have a shop that you operate, you still have your breaking business, and so I suppose the trick is, how do you fit all this in between your normal day-to-day responsibilities, right?
Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm super hands-on when it comes to the collection buying and the singles. So like I price out everything and run most of that. So it's busy juggling the breaks and everything on the same week. So that's why we've gone a little bit lighter schedule this week for the breaks, sort of focus on pricing the cards and getting everything ready for everyone who's going to come to the booth. Also have to like keep track of people that I've kept cards aside for throughout the year, because that's what I do a lot. If I put aside, a couple cards per person who have emailed me and asked for those cards. So a lot to remember, but as one thing I would say is very important to me, and I don't know about other sellers as well, but I think it's very important to price your cards right before a show. So I've done that every single year I've set up, and every show that I set up is my goal is to price all my cards within like a 7-day span
Wow.
of the show happening, just so I'm, on the ball with pricing, and then it's fair for both the buyer and obviously us as a seller.
I think we've all been there when you grab a card and you're like, what? $300? And the dealer goes, no, sorry, that was from a few years ago. Let me think. And he grabs his phone. And yeah, so to have your finger on the pulse of that, Grant, as a buyer, more, thank you. That's very appreciated.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so the last expo was roughly 6 months ago, and you bring thousands of cards. So after the last show, how much of like an inventory hit do you take at a show? And have you basically spent the last 6 months building that back up so you have enough good stuff to fill all those cases this week?
Yeah, so that's actually like that's something that I used to stress about very, very often. Is my biggest thing was I didn't want to be the guy who comes back with the same cards every single year. So I've made a big push for new inventory and keep it fresh and exciting for new inventory every single show. So this year when I'm pricing everything out, I'm focusing on our new pickups and new collections. And then whatever I can't fill out there for that 1,500 cards will be from our old inventory and the cards that we didn't sell last year. So yeah, that's a big thing where keeping it fresh and exciting and always having new cards for people coming to our booth every single year.
How many people will you have working your booth? I mean, that's a big space, 55 cases. You need a crew, right?
Yeah. Last year was our first time. Like we went from the show before, so 6 months before that, our booth was only 3 booths, and then we doubled in size and we did the rectangle or the square.
was awesome.
So this year I think we're gonna have like 8-9 people work in the booth, and then having 2-3 people comping at all times because we do a lot of buying as well at the show. That was one thing that I found last year is we were understaffed is from the buying end, and then also negotiating the sales. But that's why it's important for me to price out everything fairly and be like close to market, so everyone who's working the booth knows what our bottom dollar is on those cards, and then I'm focusing most of the time buying and negotiating with people.
Yeah,
You had a
yeah.
bit of
Oh, sorry, Phil. I was just gonna say, if you're the constraint, like if every deal if you're gonna have that big of a space, you can't be involved in every single deal.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you'll grind the machine to a halt and
yeah,
stress yourself out. So that's probably smart.
you had
What's your
that
question about?
system. You had that system, Grant. It was almost like a lineup, right? And you were right at the end. And if you had the camera set up there, so if it was a good deal, you could just press record on the camera, get Emmanuel to cover it. I think you should do something similar to that because that worked really well. And that older gentleman you had working for you, I think his name was Troy. He was really helpful. I think you should bring him back again.
Should probably get a guy a
he might
raise.
be back.
What's that?
He might be back this year.
Oh, good. Yeah, he was very nice, very kind, and good at his job. I like him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a
Yeah.
keeper.
He's a keeper.
Yeah, so this year, yeah, that's what we've definitely worked on. I won't be handling too much of the selling side. I'm focusing more so on the content and filming the interactions and buying. And then
Nice.
we're gonna also have a second buying station for the lots that like we're not gonna film and make content around. So there'll be a few of us buying there.
Hmm. Now, so you'll be at like the buying station. Do you feel pressure when somebody's brought you, but and they've got a bunch of cards for you to look at, and then there's like 4 people in line behind them, where I'm sure like in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, I don't want to make somebody wait forever and ever, but I also don't want to rush through a deal and do something really stupid either. So I these are the weird things I think about when I see stuff like
No,
that.
for
It's
sure.
like,
We came into that last year, and that's why like now we're way more prepared on that end. Even last year though, like we would have them show us the cards first, like if they're in the line, just to make sure that we're interested in them. And I've seen like
yeah,
the lines for some of these bigger guys at the national, and you can get like 20 people in line. And like I just couldn't imagine if you walked up and they said they weren't interested. We typically buy like a wide range of things, so like 9 out of 10 times we're going to be interested. But we always look at like their cards in the line and make sure we're interested. But that's why this year we're going to have like 2 buying stations pretty much, and anything that like I'm super interested in for the content side of things will be in one line, and then the other line will be processing all the other items and payouts.
if I have cards that I want to sell you, like let's say I, one of Phil's top loader binders disappears in the morning, and somehow ends up at one of your buying stations. What should I expect though as a seller? Like, what's the for me to this may sound like a weird question, but I think that, and I believe as we've got to know you, this is how you operate. In the best deals, everyone sort of wins. You win, and the seller wins too. So like, what are some tips that you would give sellers for to be most successful and fast and kind of get what they're looking out of the deal as well as you are?
Yeah, so there's two sides because we deal with a wide range. Like we deal with a lot of people coming in where they don't know their value of their collection and they want us to, they trust us in
Mhm.
our opinion. So we go through it for them. But then the other side, if you're in tune with the hobby and you know how to use Card Ladder and these apps, I would say just get a rough ballpark for what you're looking for on the cards. That's what we always ask, like, hey, what are you looking for on this card? If they don't know, then we'll do the research and show them the comps for them and get that number. But yeah, having a little bit of research before you go into selling a couple cards or a collection will speed up the process. But from that end, like we're used to going through sort of that process with the people coming in into the store regularly, showing them the comps, and then getting them the payout rate. And that's why I'm super confident when I promote buying and that sort of thing. Like I truthfully think I have one of the highest payout rates, and that's amongst if I'm filming the content, if I'm not filming that, just because we have such a big use for these cards. So it's easy for us to cycle through this inventory. And then so obviously, there's stuff that's not as liquid and that sort of stuff doesn't get as big of a payout rate. But for most of the big
Yeah.
players and the liquid stuff, we're super good with our payouts.
The Grant, when you are buying these big lots, we like to educate a lot of the people listening because a lot of people don't know, and I know the people listening that know about Terra Peak. Yes, we are beating a dead horse, but it's a horse that should always be beaten. Do you use Terra Peak for big cards? Like if a card's $5,000, do you want to make sure that that's been paid for? I just want your opinion as someone who buys big lots.
Yeah.
How are your habits with Terra Peak?
On a super high end card, yes, I'll use all my resources. But this is actually one thing that I've noticed this week in specific because I've had like 6 collection appointments this week, and
Wow.
the biggest discrepancy that I'm finding right now is people think 130 point is the best site, and I always say
Really?
Card Ladder right now.
Mhm.
It shows you the track record. You can see the inconsistencies in cards. Card Ladder is one thing that I'm surprised the most. Like uh, people that aren't as in tune with the hobby might not know even what Card Ladder is. And I thought it was more popular than it actually is. But
Yeah, me too.
paid membership to Card Ladder, shout out.
No,
But
there's a link in the bio.
okay, very
But
so
it,
that is the best site. Like I just had a phone call with a collector from Detroit who's looking at like sending us his collection, and he went through a majority of his cards, and I said, hey, just to be fully transparent, I'm going to be using Card Ladder. You comped all these with 130 point in eBay. If you can, just take an extra hour, go through the Card Ladder, pay the $30. This is a $10,000 plus collection. Pay the $30 and just search them on there because that's exactly what I'm going to be using on my end. Shows confirmed sales, shows the track record, the history of these cards, because there are instances. Example, Alex Ovechkin right now, like there are some crazy sales on April 6th to April 10th, and that's what I've been having to tell people. Like rookie threads, for example, I was in the store working a deal with a guy, and he had the rookie threads Alex Ovechkin. I was like, I'm not going to make you an offer on this card just because the last 2 comps that are showing up for me are $400 and $450. And this card before that date, if someone who's not using Card Ladder might not see it, but the card was a $250 card. And I said, I think you can maybe do better right now. You should keep the card, try to get $450. Now is probably the best time to sell it. But my concern is buying that card next week. It's going to go back to the level that it should be at. Yeah. And he said that's totally fine. He used the $250 value, and we ended up picking up the card. I'm now pricing it for the expo last night.
at 600.
Yeah, 650.
It's back down to 230. So I was like, that's the crazy.
Wow, that quick, eh?
The drastic
There you
drop,
go.
especially. I knew it. Like I was very careful with this week, buying the Ovechkins because I just saw that huge spike up from the 6th to the 10th when he broke the record. But that card, an example, just it peaked up and it went right back down. So using Card Ladder will show you those months and before and get a good reading of it.
one of the things that we've started doing, I want to say like maybe 3 months ago, is when we talk about like young guns in particular, like the PSA 10s, we've been stating not just like the current price, but and how much it's gone up or down, but the 52-week low and high. And if you ever look at that, it's insane for every single card. Like there might be a card that, let's say, player X's Young Guns is at $125. The 52-week low will be like 60, and the 52-week high would be like 250. And there's just like these that I don't know. Well, I think I know the answer to this, but it's like the swings are so dramatic that it seems like the key in any of this, and we've talked to Sylvan in our Confessions of a Card Dealer, it's like moving inventory fast, right? Unless it's like a very unique, like truly rare card. It's like that's got to be the name of the game, right? Because there's so much price volatility that the longer you hold it, it's almost impossible what to know to buy something for.
Yeah, for sure. I find the frustration there with the Young Guns, especially as well. Like the same card ending on the same day at two completely different prices. You could have one sell for $200, and you could have one sell for $260. It's like it's mind-boggling on that
And of
end.
course, the seller wants $260, and you want to go off of $200, so you got to try to meet in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. You meet in the middle, and typically it's like on that end, it's certain cards you see what you have at like these shows. Like example, in Austin Matthews Young Guns, there might be a crazy high sale, but we know that card consistently sells for $550, $600 at these shows, and they're stickered there. So when you see that one outlier or a few outliers, like that's one thing too. Like some of the sales on eBay might be someone sitting up that card for 6 months to find the right buyer versus an auction type sale, right? So that's typically when we see the biggest discrepancy in between the two.
Grant, let's say you get 10 people a month, 10 people a month on average. I'm just picking a number. How many full lots do you say you just can't reach an agreement? Like 20%, 50?
Honestly, for people coming into the store, I would say it's like a 95%, 90%.
Wow, I had a feeling. Okay, nice.
Today, I picked up a lot where I just have a problem because I love these cards. So I typically bend.
You're getting high on your own supply, brother.
Yeah. So like today was the McDonald's set, like a whole bunch of McDonald's passes. And like these are not crazy expensive cards. And typically my payout rate should be low on them because they're between $50 and $60. And that's the zone where if you do, auction them or you put them up, you're going to get like feed 15% plus an additional shipping fee. And that's where it gets dicey on those $50 cards or even $25, $30 cards. But I thought they were super unique and I hadn't seen them in years. So it's
You'll sell them, man. A guy my age will come by. He'll buy the whole thing.
So I would say like on that end, again, like our starting offer on most people who come into the store, it's 75 to 80%. Typically it's 80% on good stuff. So it's very rare that someone's ready to sell and brings their stuff into the store and that we don't get a deal done.
Mm-hmm. What are you anticipating is going to be like the hot cards or the hot players this week? Do you have a sense for that? Like who people, based on maybe people coming into your store or who people talk about in your breaks?
Yeah, I've actually been loading up a lot on Phil Kessel right now.
What?
No, I'm just joking, but it is sick.
Oh, it's like Sarah Hot Dog
I'm very, very excited for him to be signing, and I don't know if there's any way if I could work some magic to try to get a box opening with him, but that is a bucket list item for me, and I haven't worked on that at all, which I should probably try to start. But that when I saw his name, I freaked out. So we'll see on that. But I think Ovi's still going to have a ton of collectors trying to pick up a few pieces of him. I shouldn't say this, but I think a lot of people are going to sort of be hunting Crosby from the realization.
What's the matter with you? That's what I'm doing. Okay, exactly. Grant's off. Re-edit.
I had someone in store today, and I was like, okay, I guess like this is going to be a consensus. But if you look at the prices for Ovechkin and Crosby, and a lot of people believe that Crosby's going to, it's one of the two. It's either Crosby or Ovechkin's going to go back down, or Crosby's going to level out. And I think Crosby long term is going to go up and level out with Ovechkin. So I think Crosby is going to be one of the main focuses of this show, and Phil seems to be like, I just ruined his plans. I already had that plan in Phil, so everyone's hunting him.
I don't think that we're like this is some
It
huge
was
secret.
my first idea. It was
You
my
didn't
idea.
invent this idea, so just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a Crosby guy, so I got to deal with the pain. I mean, I've
No,
already
you're
got
a
my items, but
Kessel
I'm
guy
always
now.
hunting.
You're a Phil
Yeah.
Kessel guy. You're not a Crosby.
What
guy.
about Celebrini and Mitchkov? You expecting a lot of interest in those guys still?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with them is they don't have a ton of stuff out.
Yeah,
You know,
like
in
none of the
terms
big
like,
stuff is out. Right?
exactly, like they have their young guns and that sort of parallels. But in terms of like patch autographs and that sort of stuff, it's still relatively new. And I would caution people for the release of SP Game Used when that's out. That's going to be 1 or 2 days fresh when it comes out for the Expo. So if there's some stuff about those players, might be all-time record-setting high sales. So just be a little cautious on those guys. I'd say wait a week or two if you're looking for those guys from those products. I don't know. I think the usual suspects will be, popular. Marc-Andre Fleury has been hotter than I've ever seen him before.
Yeah.
People ask me
Well
about him.
deserved.
Feel
Well
good
deserved.
story right now, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And then obviously the playoff teams that are, gearing up for a run, like we've seen a little spike in Matthews recently, especially the Leafs. Like if they get through the first round, they get that little bump. So a lot of people are loading up before that. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a sweep in 4 games, no question.
He's delusional. I want what you're smoking, Grant. I'll be by to pick them up next week, buddy. Yeah.
You are the one sitting in there wearing blue, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, it's
are
Adidas,
you
it's not blue
taking?
team.
Yeah. Are you taking Demidov pre-orders yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We already won the Calder, so
Talk about unexpected. Just like I swear a week and a half ago, it was just like not even a conversation. And now it's like the number one hype. I was like looking at my dad and I was like, yeah, I think we're in good hands for next year.
Yeah,
Then
you
McKenna-
placed your Series 1 order yet, Grant?
We have not. I mean, no one has, so that's great. And then the McKenna, his highlights recently have been just unbelievable. Like,
Oh,
what
that
a-
crazy,
spin
eh?
around goal that he had or whatever. That was
Yeah.
such an exciting time for hockey. I feel like it's the early 90s again. We're getting our Roniks, our Lidstroms, our Fedorovs, our McGillneys, our Burets. Yeah, it's good.
mhm.
Yeah.
Is it tricky buying and selling Bedsy right now?
Bedard, yeah, it's hard. I mean, I am more so in the bus that like I've restickered like 25 Bedards already and just taking a fat L on them. But when you
fat
should
L on
move your
Connie
inventory
Bedard.
quick, that's a problem I don't do. I tend to hold a lot of my stuff. So I've been kicking myself on that end. But I still, again, I have confidence in him, and long term, I think he should be around where he's at right now. We'll see. It always depends, but yeah, stuff like Young Guns and that sort of thing, I don't think it's going to be as popular this show as it was obviously a year ago.
Here's the problem with what happened this year, right? And so you guys all chime in if you feel differently, but I think I have a solid take on this. The last couple months, he's been these it hasn't been the disaster that maybe it could have been. He's played a lot better, and so I think that there's upside. But what I would give you, and it's not on the same scale, of course, but when you look at like a guy like Cole Caulfield, who had all the hype and then got hurt, right, and struggled and lost it, he had an awesome year this year, and the hype never came back, right?
Yeah,
and so
that's
what
weird.
I worry about with Bedard is we have Celebrini and Mitchkov that people are excited, and of course Shimmy Shakes too. And now you're going to have Demidov coming in the fall, and it's like even if Bedard does score 35 goals next year, or and takes a big step forward, will the hype return, or do people just move on to whatever's next by that point?
It's hard to say. I think one thing that would be different, and the difference between the two is Bedard has had marketing money from the NHL behind him. So he's reached a completely bigger audience than Caulfield. I feel like Caulfield was more of like a Canadian fan base supporting his sales. Bedard, like, no doubt the NHL wants this man to be the next carrying of the torch, because every single goal or snipe he's on the NHL social media and they're blasting it. So that's definitely going to help. I also think Chicago, like if we look at the franchise as like holding a sustainable player, look at Kane Tays, like there's a loyal fans. Montreal fans, great. But if we look at their track record, the way they jump ship on like Brendan Gallagher and Suzuki, and that's like they still sell, but they don't sell for near what they did. Like it's a track record that has happened every single year with Montreal players because they get so many good prospects and they're the next Wayne Gretzky. So
It's a passionate fan base. It's a
Yes,
Well, no,
yeah.
I want to thank you right now for our episode title. Grant Paterson trashes Montreal fans.
Hey, you know, they're
Wouldn't go to the
blessed right now.
Montreal.
They're in a good spot. My God, Lane Hudson.
Oh yeah,
Insane.
yeah.
He'll be a big chase at the Expo, I think, right? Big.
Yeah, Hudson is selling for record high. Like it's
And Nyes is. I mean, he's won 3 Calders in 1 year, so that's good. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, so that's what I would say for the Bedard market is we haven't seen a top prospect out of Chicago with that big of a fan base and the US market behind it as well, versus like I swear every single year there's a top Montreal Canadian that gets pushed, and then you know, regardless of how they play, like it goes down a little bit afterwards.
Did you figure out what you're doing with your Parkhurst 1951 Parkhurst set? Are you bringing that to the Expo? Are you keeping it in the
I'm
vault
actually
at home?
The first thing
dropping
was,
it off
do you still have it?
I'm actually
yeah?
dropping it off to a good buddy of mine tomorrow to take a look at some of the cards. So yeah, those are going to get cleaned up and then submitted right before
Nice.
the show starts.
Yeah, there was I think I sent it to you. There was a set that sold somewhere, like one of the big auction companies, right? Like Heritage or Pristine or something like that. So you know, that'll be helpful to have, I guess, a recent comp on something like that.
Grant,
what's the
how did
most-
you?
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I had a good question.
Well, I have a good question. Wait,
Okay, I'll go after you. I'll go after.
wait. No, rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. You cheated. Just go ask your question.
Okay. I don't know if you can answer this. It's kind of off the table a little bit, but Jeremy Lee's had his Thursday nights for so many years and everything. And then all of a sudden it's Jeremy Lee and Grant. Is this like, if you can't talk about it, I understand, but how did you convince the big guy to partner up? And I heard your explanation. It's we have Rip Party on Fridays next year. Saturday night's minting, trade night, like all the nights are really occupied. And Thursday was kind of like the only, you're like, how am I going to swing this? Or can you give us any more info to that? Because when that came out, that was awesome. Like best of both worlds coming together. Super happy, super fun. Glad you changed the venue for food so we can try different food, you know, see how that goes. How did that come about?
The plates weren't big enough for Phil to get all the wings on there in one shot.
French fries. I wanted the French fries.
No, did you see that,
took
Grant?
all the wings.
They brought out a tray of wings for like 800 people, and Phil puts 80 on his plate. And he's just there going, nom, 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 nom,
I didn't want to get back up.
Well, that's my answer. I didn't want to get back up. You all went up 5 times to make it look like you're not getting more than I actually just don't give a poop.
I'm gonna be honest, I snagged quite a few wings as well, so I'm in
You're
the
a
same
big
club
eater,
as-
Grant. I don't know how you're not a lot bigger. I see you eat all the time, nonstop.
Oh, it's coming, don't worry. But yeah, so I was looking at like a night that we wanted to do something for sort of our community and the people who support us as well as the hobby. And you know, looking at the schedule and the nights, that was really the only night that I could see fitting. And so we paired up with Jeremy as well this year for working together on his podcast. So thought it'd be a great event to, you know, merge both of our brands and then and have a great social night for the hobby. It's not as much as like a trade night, more as just like friends can go there, communicate, and
man,
talk about the hobby after the first day of the expo. I will say a fun event that we have going on around 10 o'clock that night. We're going to be opening up a cupcase with Billy Celio. So
nice. We'll celebrate the Sens winning, and then we'll
okay,
okay, Grant. Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Billy,
Is that just your
Billy who?
case, or like what are you doing with those cards?
So we're going to be doing like a break on our website, and it's going to be a special break where we'll promote like
player select or random.
It's going to be hit select. So our typical hit select.
I want the base cards.
Maybe we can do it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I did the base cards on a break a couple weeks ago. I got 2 Roop Hines on a base card. What is that? And I feel like that's a joke with you and Emmanuel sending to me. We'll talk about it at the expo.
What did you get?
Hines?
Rope hands?
Whatever. Can't even say his name.
Sounds like me trying to pronounce these.
Yeah, I can never say his name. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about that. Do you still do you take a pause on the breaks that week, or do you still try to squeeze it in? How would you possibly have time?
In the past, I haven't. Typically, I've actually done like a post expo Monday night stream. That's typically what we do for our big Monday night one. This year, we are trying to do well. Wednesdays, the day before the expo, is a huge release of SP Game U. So we're going to be breaking that. That's our buying event too. I'm going to.
Oh,
be
you must have been
destroyed.
like, thanks, Upper Deck.
Yeah, I'm going to be destroyed for the first day of the expo. It's going to be, we'll see, a lot of good deals at the booth if you guys want to buy. Yeah, so we're going to be buying all day in store that Wednesday. That starts at 10 a.m. And then we'll finish that up, go start our breaks, and then get ready for the first day of the show. And then we have the Thursday cup opening with Billy. I don't think we're going to schedule anything for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just because it's so busy.
Yeah, take you well deserved, and you're not.
Well,
resting,
you need to
working.
focus too.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, if you spread yourself too thin, and you won't execute well at anything you do.
Yeah,
he has the power of youth as well, though, right?
I mean, my big thing is I try to get a video up during those days for the expo content. And that's my number one goal and mission is, provide the content for the viewers. So that'll be a big thing. I remember last year, like editing those videos late.
Yeah, they were great, man. They're awesome.
You edit your own videos?
Yeah, I do. I need to delegate some of that stuff, but it's like so hard. I have like a picture of like the content that I like and the style, and I guess like it would take like introducing an editor to that style and getting the hang of it. But that is something on the list of
putting your flavor on it, right? Putting your stank on it. Yeah,
exactly.
So when you look at the totality of everything this week, like, are you like a goal-oriented person? Do you set a goal like we want to sell? Is it like a monetary goal? Is it move a number inventory? Is it some other goal?
Not really, because I've always been like the perspective of like, what sells. I always do want to move a ton of inventory because I always try to be super fair with my pricing. And on that end, like I don't have a set goal price wise. My honest goal is just to film the best content possible. That's like my main part of these.
The money will follow. The money will follow if you just keep doing what you like, Grant, which is what you're doing and you're passionate. And the money will follows, man. Just you're good at what you do. The money will come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's the main goal is to get these sort of interactions and these collections and cool cards on camera so other people can and share it.
That's what the people want, brother.
Yeah.
The cards are the stars, right?
I've been kicking myself a few times because I don't have like an exact operation in store, and some of the cool interactions that we have like on a day-to-day basis, it's like I just need like a little camera to press a button and it starts filming in store because like we miss out on some really, really cool stuff. Like but yeah, that's sort of like my new, not new, but it's been for the last like 2 years since I started YouTube is the goal is just creating the content. And,
do you need to make a Baba Louie, clone him, work on a deal.
Do you what percentage of women walk in your shop? Well, it's a good question.
Interesting question. Emmanuel would know better on that. Emmanuel's more in store than me. I'm mostly like when I go to the store, it's typically for a scheduled appointment for a collection.
Okay. I'll chat with Emmanuel at the expo. I'll get
that down. Being at the store when I am at the store, I would say like 20%, but it's a lot Pokemon.
Oh, I thought the ladies would be flocking in there for you, Grant, when you're in there.
it is all Pokemon mostly, or they're buying.
Oh, really? Okay.
Their husband or boyfriend.
Nah.
In a good way, the hobby, I think, has stayed fairly strong over the last number of months as it's gotten a little weird in the world. Do you think that there'll be any, like, what are you expecting as far as for this expo, just attendance and vibe? And are you kind of curious as to if there will be an impact? Do you think, the hobby's rocking? What do you think the vibes will be?
I think the hobby's for sure rocking. I don't know if this one will be as crazy as last expo because of the tariff situation. Like last expo, I know a lot of vendors that I spoke to they were very happy because a lot of the US guys came by and bought a lot. So I think that might be a little bit less than years past because of the whole tariff situation. I heard.
Hey, I'm sorry, I got to cut you off. I got to answer a phone call here.
Oh.
Hey, Billy.
not calling you guys while you're doing the show, am I?
You are actually. We're interviewing Grant Paterson about your what you're super excited about, the case break that you're doing on Thursday night at Arizona's.
Yeah, I'm super excited. What room are we in at Arizona? We were wondering.
Do you know what room? Billy wants to know what room you're in at Arizona's.
There's like a glass room.
Where it used to be. Is there gonna be a DJ? No.
Yeah, I just told Grant, Billy, that that you need a disco ball. That's in your rider, and you're not opening if there's no disco ball.
Does he always call with his mouth full of food?
I'm not live, am I?
No, we're not live. We're recording though. We are recording. You should know that. I think legally I have to make you aware that.
Legally, you're fine.
Quick question. I saw Jake Sanderson.
Hey!
And I was going to go to Phil. And I went through all my stuff, and I realized I think I traded it or gave it to the Dan from Out of the Box.
Oh, that's okay. We're friends.
Hockey or non-hockey other than Iowa Senators? Like, is there TV shows or actors or actors or stuff? You know, the stuff that I have plentiful things of that I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, dude, I think he would love this.
I got it. Do you have any My Little Pony?
What?
I got a Barbie movie.
Perfect.
I like the Barbie movie.
Yeah. Phil's huge into Barbie. Hey, anything Ken related?
Who isn't in a Barbie? Give me a break. Come on.
The guy that played Shang-Chi, one of the Kens signed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I want to give that one up to him, though.
I'll call you back later.
Yeah,
We're actually anything you want to say to the hockey hobby world about the expo and how excited you are to see Grant and everyone this week?
I'm excited to see everybody. I got my Canada jacket, so I will, you might not recognize me because you'll be like, who's this Canadian in the red Canada jacket? And surprise, it's an American. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to everybody. Obviously, there's a lot going on. I'm really excited. I opened up some SP Game Use today.
Oh.
And a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, we finally got a product in early so I can look at it before it goes out to the public.
That's against the rules. That's against the rules, Billy. I'm telling Shane.
Are you a certified diamond dealer? Are you allowed to do that, Billy?
You hear this, Grant? You hear this?
I open it. It comes to my desk. It usually doesn't come on time, but it comes to my desk. Yeah. And you're going to have Party Time Pat there to talk about some FPS with you guys. So I'm excited for you guys to talk to him. And is Cali Dave coming too?
Yep, California Dave will be there. Well, Grant was just telling us that you're trying to kill him by releasing SP Game Use on the day before the expo.
It's nice to have something come out before the expo.
True, but he just complicated his life. Don't you consider Grant when you guys are working on the schedule? I thought he was a bigger deal than that, Billy. Come on.
Yeah.
Ask Grant what it's like to talk about the cup with an expert of the cup, just like you guys did.
Well, when he's finds one, he'll let you know.
Yeah, is Grant coming?
Okay. I think he might see one on Thursday.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Jeremy Lee will be there.
Oh.
Love it.
All right. I got to let you go. I'll call you.
Bye, Billy.
All right, peace, brother.
What a poop show. Oh, my God. That was so funny. I'm pretty sure he was eating at the beginning of that phone call.
I don't know. I was in the car. So what were we talking about? Sorry, I just had to try something. I had another
Barbie?
My Little Pony? I don't remember.
Big picture question.
Professional.
I don't know, maybe that's right. What else should we talk about? What else do the people need to know? Oh, I remember. So, oh my God. Hold on.
I
remember my I have the last question for you. We Louis and I are Americans. You can't tell because we're that good looking. A lot of people here have never been to the expo. What's your pitch for someone that has never come? Like, what are people missing that if they haven't experienced this yet?
Oh, well, if you're a hockey fan, it's a bucket list must attend. Like as great as the National and Fanatics Fest is, and we go to both those shows as well. But the amount of hockey that is at that show might be 5% of what is here at the Toronto Expo. It's just like an absolute kid in a candy store if you're a hockey fan. Everything that you could imagine is at that show, versus like a national or something like that where you might have 5% or less of hockey on the show floor, and you still can find what you're looking for at the national and those type of shows. So if you're attending those shows looking for hockey, you got to go to the expo. It's night and day, and it's
Yeah.
it's
If you go to
overwhelming
the
at first,
expo,
but
if you go to the expo, it will ruin every other card show for you
Yeah.
in the US. Period.
100%.
Hands down.
You can make it a 2-day vacation. Like get a hotel room and make 2 days out of it. It is worth it. So many people I've talked to over the last few months, they're like, "Oh, do you think it'd be worth it to go for a couple of days?" I'm like, "Yes, 100%." Toronto, they got good food. It's a very industrial area. You can get around, rent a car, have a blast, man.
It's right by the airport. You don't have to travel far if you're flying in.
It is worth it. If you're in, I don't know, anywhere like Winnipeg or Arkansas or whatever you do, anywhere you can fly in, man. It's worth the price of admission times 10. I can't stress that enough. It's a magical place for a hockey card collector.
Yeah.
Well, Grant, wish you the best of luck. Can't wait to see you. Well, we'll see you today, I guess, when this comes out. So it's hey.
I saw him yesterday.
Phil's gonna sell you all his cards. I would start at 17%. I think is a fair number for Phil.
Whatever.
And maybe get up to 19.
This is Grant's gonna get me back on that Gretzky Future Watch now. He's like, well, I did give you a pretty big discount. I'm gonna get my money back.
That may or may not have gone crazy 2 months later.
I know that was Phil, a smart buy. It's
I pulled the trigger real fast.
He was so happy when that whole day he's just showing it to everybody, and it's an amazing card. So
my best card, Grant, from you.
All
right, Grant. Well, thank you so much. Good luck, and
thanks, man.
We'll talk to you again soon,
guys. Awesome.
Yep.
We'll see you next one. Cheers.
Thank you to Grant. Good luck. Can't wait to see him and his papa.
That's right.
How they're gonna do all that though? Whew.
They are. They're gonna do great. He's game on, man. It's game on. He'll be great. It's got good
breaking
support.
thing would be, but I mean, that's I think what he lives to do, right? So
Grant lives to look at cards and talk about cards. Whatever doors that opens, he's walking through them.
Oh, very
true. Are you gonna go sell him some cards? Is that the rumor?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You better pay me top dollar. I don't know. I'm not good at selling cards, so I'll probably just say yes, whatever he offers.
You're moving a bunch of slabs, right? That's kind of your goal.
They're traders. Like I'm screwed, man. I have 2 Gretzky Seismic Golds PSA 10s. I cannot let those go unless I get a raw back. I cannot. That's going to be an impossible trade to find. So I'm bringing them to the expo. If I see a dealer with a raw one, I hope we get along, and I hope he has a second card I really like.
Well, I have a raw one.
Which year? 2018?
The one in the Campbell Conference All-Star jersey?
Yeah, that's 2018. I have that as well.
Oh. Well, I thought you said you needed raw.
Sure. You give me Crosby, Essential Credential, I'll give you the PSA 10 Gretzky. Listen, bring your raw one. We'll talk.
Throw in a Gretzky Future Watch Auto and you got a deal.
Okay, ridiculous. Get out of here.
Negotiate on the air here. Okay. Well, yeah, it'll be... Well, maybe we'll be wheeling and dealing at the Chateau. Okay, from one combo to another. It wouldn't be a Gong Show Expo preview unless we had Mikey Singer on, who's the maestro of the expo. He's the conductor. His wands are usually microphones that are in his back pocket, and he's running around either escorting some Hall of Famer to their autograph booth or to have a conversation with the idiot like me, or making announcements over the PA system. We should steal his microphone and just let you go ham, Phil. Wouldn't that be fun?
Don't listen, man. Don't give me ideas. If I burn one down or you give me a couple of beers, I will have a lot of fun in that building. So let's not do that. Maybe on Sunday, we'll see.
Him and his team do an amazing job of coordinating and facilitating and making sure, it's always so smooth there. And so I enjoy the opportunity to catch up with him and see what we get to expect, what's staying the same, what's changing, some of the stuff, their goals for the show. So with that being said, we hope you enjoyed this conversation with Mikey Singer. Well, we're very pleased to welcome back to the show Mikey Singer, who might be the busiest man in the hobby right now as we're headed into the Spring 2025 Sport Card Expo. Mikey and his company, MKEM, right? Is that they really facilitate and run the show and do an awesome job there. So welcome back, Mikey. Nice to chat with you again.
It's awesome to be back.
Mikey.
You know what? It just means you guys are growing, show's growing. It reminds me every time I do this event or do this show, it lets me know that the event is around the corner.
There we go. So, what is this week like for you? Like heading up to it, is it kind of dotting all the I's, crossing the T's? Do you guys have your plan pretty much in place, or is there always surprises that kind of hit you?
So I think both. So mostly everything's in place, but you are in an event this size, there is going to be surprises. Guests canceling, new guests announcing, something that comes up. Who knows? But it's a ton. It's over almost 200,000 square feet. 500 different exhibitors, tons of different sponsors, grading on site. It's a whole moving beast unto itself. So there's anything that can come up. And as for what we're doing this week, a lot of meetings, a lot of emails, answering, all of us are doing everything, answering a lot of questions on social, really working the apps. Thankfully there's a lot of apps that collect, all of your comments from Facebook and Instagram.
Sure.
If one company could own it all, it'd be easier. But again, just working through that, making sure we have everything in line and getting out stuff like the schedule for all our speakers, which Josh, I probably should send to you any minute now.
Get him.
I'm not gonna lie. Right? Yeah. Would love. Yeah. Anytime you can send that way. Okay, Louis, you got a question?
I do. Did you get any response from the new hall? The layout, everything in the different spot from last fall.
What was the feedback from fall?
Yeah, I think it was overwhelmingly positive.
Good.
Which is why we went back to it. And I think a lot of, it depends. If you're talking about from the attendee side, they felt like it was more together. It was overwhelmingly big, but it felt all one space.
Yep.
And on the vendor side, they felt like no one was left out. Right? It didn't matter if you were in halls 3 and 4. You couldn't really tell. Like a vendor couldn't tell. Sorry, an attendee couldn't tell where they were, and they moved through the hall. So there was a lot better of a layout. The flow was a lot nicer. And again, like there's starting to be specific areas where things are happening. We've got the grading going on. We've got the auto area. We've got our all our endemic sponsors sort of going into one sort of zone now. So a lot of different things going on that are making the show great. And obviously, we're doing a lot on the stage, which Josh will be a part of.
He'll
be interviewing a guest,
and
like I said, he'll be interviewing a guest, and he'll be part of a panel.
Nice.
And he's making that face because he is legitimately finding out for the first time on it right now.
It's a
he's not cheap.
Surprises are good. Yeah.
He's not cheap.
My
Mikey.
agent will be calling, and he might be right there. He's a tough negotiator.
Invoices are piling up, Mikey.
Appreciate it, and I look forward to receiving it.
Okay, I want to get I think the biggest question, just kind of hit it head on. What are you hearing about especially for people like me and Louis from the US here, about the border? Is that a legitimate concern for people? Have you guys talked to the border people at all to give people guidance as far as what they should expect, or maybe what you should be careful for or cognizant of? What are you hearing?
And when you're saying, you're talking about the border coming over the Canadian
from the US
border
into
from
Canada.
The US?
If I'm bringing a bunch of my cards to show Phil, am I going to have a problem with that, or just in general?
And again, not much has changed. In the general, having recently crossed the border myself, be mindful, declare what you're bringing in, speak, and it all depends on the value, right? If you're coming in with $1 million worth of cards, it's worth it to to maybe have a call with a customs broker.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're rolling with, Josh. If you've got $100,000 cash and $1 million in cards, maybe speak to a custom broker. But again, if you're under the limits, and you can Google this, check the limits. But I don't see a huge difference in the border from this time last year to where we are today.
Now we have a situation that's brewing with this expo, in that Phil's Ottawa Senators are going to be taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs during the expo. Do you think that how's that going to affect things? His team hasn't made the playoffs since, I believe, 1913, right, Phil? 1913 was the last time your team made the playoffs.
That's incorrect, Mr. Madigan.
Okay.
And just on that, similar to the border, I don't foresee that as being much of an issue.
Okay.
Similar to years past, when we would meet the Ottawa Senators in the playoff runs.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yesteryear, when Alfredson was running that team, it'll probably be quick work.
Yeah. You guys, every year we haven't made the playoffs in the last 7 years. Do you know how many rounds the Maple Leafs have won? One.
But it's good. It's good because maybe what was missing was beating up on Ottawa in the first round.
You might be correct.
Starting that leap year, because that back in the the mid 90s, that was our heyday.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I think it was good. Every year it was what, we'll start the playoffs, beat up on Ottawa, and then go on to face someone good in the second round.
Well, and it is I kind of brought it up because I think, as I try to compare and contrast the Fall Expo and the Spring Expo, one of the things that I love about Spring is you do have the playoff atmosphere there. And it is, as an observer, right, it is kind of fun to see. Of course, there's a majority, the fact that the show's in Toronto, there's a majority of Maple Leafs fans, and whether or not the Leafs win the night before or lose the night before, it's great people watching and conversation observing the next day. So I think the playoffs give, that's one thing that makes the Spring Expo special.
So funny. If the Leafs lose, God forbid, if the Leafs lose, you're gonna hear a lot of tense conversations.
They're gonna blow your team up.
If such a thing should happen, they'll blow.
If the Senators win a game, I wouldn't give Phil a microphone and let him walk around the show. That might.
I think you should. I think that would be. Oh yeah, what we take one in Toronto. Oh yes. Yeah,
it'll be amazing. I can't wait. It'll be fantastic.
Is there anything new that you guys planned for spring, or what are the big goals that you have show wise that you're hoping to accomplish with this expo?
So always improve the experience. So we touched on this a little bit off air. We're working hard to make the customer experience better throughout. So whether it's the layout of the floor plan, adding the halls, adding more space, working on the flow of traffic, adding more options. This year we had a platinum ticket where people were able to get basically a mystery box with some awesome cards in it. And we've seen some good hits from it. So, we really just want to enhance the experience. We're doing more with the stage. We're letting our endemic sponsors, have more part of the show and do more. We're making space for the Upper Deck and the Upper Deck Redemptions. We really support when they do those giveaways. eBay has a full stage inside the space itself, and does a lot to make the customer experience great. So it's items like that, and just making sure that people have easy entry, nice experiences when they go to each of the vendors, and then curate the best possible sport card experience on the show floor. And it is awesome, right? Like, everyone's got stuff, everyone collects. It's part of what we do. There is a lot to see, do, buy, engage with, talk to. You're gonna see a lot of sport card influencers on the floor, like Josh and Phil and Baba Louie. Now that he's come from behind the
We're not
camera.
influencers. We're collectors. You pay influencers. We just go because we want to be there. We don't have to pay.
Listen. Once you're on YouTube giving your opinion, you're influencing the space. I'm sorry, can't.
Well, our bank accounts are a lot different than the other guys you invite to the expo. I don't know what we're doing wrong here, Mikey.
Listen. I didn't say you were a super successful influencer.
That was good. That was really good. Fantastic. Well, you're on it. So you're on the show.
I gotta find the here we go.
Fired. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Always late. Had to do that for Mikey. Okay, so this year in a lot of ways has been kind of the year of Pokemon, just in the hobby in general. Was there Pokemon pressure for them to invade the Sport Card Expo and take it over?
No, I don't think they take it over, but they've always been a part. Like, you've seen it. It's naturally grown as part of the hobby, and that's because the people who are now exhibiting in the show grew up in the 90s, grew up when Pokemon released, and so they have that as part of their boost. And then there's people who just focus on that, who are younger and coming up. I mean, we all see it. There's fights at Costco. People don't fight in Canada. It was crazy. It was crazy. So seeing stuff like that, it is pretty much the moment right now, but I don't think it'll be any more than you've seen it. We even have, eBay sponsoring a TCG tournament. So we're going to have Pokemon and One Piece being played at the show, and some basically lessons on how to play. So not just about the collecting, but really about engaging in the actual game that it was meant to be played. Obviously, the collecting aspect, it is a sport card collector expo. But it's not going to take over the show, but it definitely is going to be part of it.
Gotcha. Hey, Louie, let's fire up the guests, because that's a big part, of course, the expo experience is the opportunity to get tons and tons of players to sign your stuff and get your autographs. And you guys always have an amazing list and highlights. So Louie, let's kind of scroll through and maybe we can chat. There we go. PWH. I mean, maybe the other, I guess, highlight of the hobby has been the success of the PWHL hockey set. So it's kind of awesome that you were able to get some PWHL stars for this show.
Yeah, and it was tough to land them because, as you know, the season's in full swing. So and you know what, the success of the set is just another extension of the success of the actual league. PWHL itself has done very well establishing itself. They have a really good loyal fan base, and it allows someone like Natalie Spooner, who's a national team hero, another platform to showcase our talent year in, year out, in front of 20,000, 14,000, whatever it is. And it allows her to really be showcased. And now I expect her to have a lot of female fans at the event.
That's pretty awesome. We just talked to Grant Paterson. He's very excited about Phil Kessel. Are you expecting big lines for people to meet Phil?
Oh yeah. Like, and all kidding aside, like I've been trying to keep it light and stuff, but yeah, Phil, I expect to have a large lineup. You know what? 2-time Stanley Cup winner, future Hall of Famer if he's not already in. You know, a real legitimate 50-goal threat every single year, and a lightning rod for controversy, right? So. People loved him. People loved to hate him.
Senator killer.
He was always going to have a certain expectation attached to him for being traded for what turned out to be Tyler Seguin. Who was the goalie? It was two first-round draft picks and a goalie prospect at the time who won a couple Stanley Cups for them.
Yeah, the lineup is crazy, Mikey, that you guys put together. Eric Lindros, I mean, I think that'll be a big draw, of course, for people. A huge goalie lineup.
Yep.
Bernie Perrant, Mike Richter, Dominic Hasek is gonna
Dominator.
Yeah, be there signing, and Ray Bork. There's another huge one, and then I can only assume, right? I'm an American in Minnesota, but you've got the whole Maple Leafs captains kind of lineup. That's going to be insane? I would assume in the autograph pavilion there, people are going to just be going nuts for that.
It will, and especially, you know what, you're getting 5 captains together from the Leafs history. It will be really exciting for people to come in and see everyone. Leafs have always been popular at the show, in Toronto, and we got a current Toronto Raptor. RJ Barrett. I know it's not hockey.
He's a good player.
RJ Barrett, great player. One of my favorites. Canadian too. Born in Toronto. So
nice.
Local player on the local team. Current player and local to the city. A
couple other big names are Lawrence Taylor on the football side.
Yep. Lawrence Taylor. He's probably the best defensive player in football of all time.
Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, a kid in the 80s, right? We grew up in the 80s. That's
Jim Duggan's gonna be there. That's great. Hi-oh!
Yeah. Hopefully we'll hear that on the way out. Hopefully it brings a 2x4 too.
Yeah, bring it too. I'm gonna get him to sign a 2x4. It'd be hilarious.
You know what? I expect to see a lot of them out there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's always one of the fun parts about the show is seeing what people bring out. Some people are dragging around boards that they got from old stadiums. Cool
one of your celebrities from last year, Mikey. I won't say who, but I was in the washroom, and I shared I didn't share a stall. I was neighborly stalls with one of your celebrity guests last year. Extra points if you can guess who it was. I didn't say hi. I wanted to, but I didn't. Yeah.
You never know who you're gonna pee beside at the sport card.
Yeah. No, it was a number 2, actually. Yeah. It was more personal.
Okay. Number 2 would be like, okay, how did you find out, Phil? Did you
I didn't
be
tell.
like, hey, what's up?
Phil's got his head under hey.
I heard him talking. I knew it was.
It's great that that's one of the cool parts about the show. And it is a really cool lineup. There's some awesome goalies. Some real Hall of Famers out there, so I'm excited to see them out and we'll have them out on the stage. And Josh, you'll be interviewing 1 or 2 of them, and it'll be cool to see. And Phil, maybe you'll have another run-in.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Phil, come meet Phil in stall 3 at.
I hope it'll be different.
The main hall of the sport card.
I hope it'll be different. That's amazing.
It's hard to argue. That's fake, Phil. That's not real.
One of the things, Mikey, that like a lot of times the Expo gets compared to the National, and I think this is a great benefit to you and the show that you guys put on, but when you're at the National and you look at the menu of autograph options, they're hundreds of dollars US to get anything signed. And like I'm looking at Eric Lindros and it's $89 Canadian for a card to get signed. And I just off of that basic comparison alone, it's like, that would be like probably $300 at the National.
Well, yeah, and then on top of it, it's Canadian dollars for you, Josh. So it's like $15 US per. It is a different, but it is a different ball game. And also, you know what? As a person who attends the National and is a fan and a collector, it's the rookie cards, right? That the ability to get rookie card signed and things like that at a reasonable price, and even the most expensive players are relatively reasonable. And it's a cool, it really is. We joke around because I'm often there because it's one of our busiest areas, that we're creating memories. And it's really nice because for a lot of these people who are coming to get these autographs, these are the people who were their favorite player growing up, their favorite player when they watched the game all the time, their favorite player before they had kids and couldn't watch sports until 1 a.m. You know,
love it.
Hey,
Absolutely
real quick, Mikey, just for the heck of it, I'll click on Lindros quick in case you got some. Well, there's always new people coming. Can you explain to them really quick what you get, what regular premium inscription stuff is for them?
For sure. Regular is basically pucks, 8x10 photos, flat items like a rookie card. Premium is things like you want to get gloves signed, you want to get sticks signed, you want to get a helmet signed, you want to get a larger photo signed, you want to get a poster signed. That becomes a premium item. Inscription is when you want to have something like, and typically this is 3 to 4 words.
Gotcha.
Like nail him in the head, or you're the best, or something simple like that. Right. Again, simple, and they'll have some limits on what they will write and won't write.
Yeah.
And then finally is Fast Pass, and that basically gets you past. I mean, we've all seen it at
Disney,
different Disney, and for us Wonderland, but basically getting past the lineup, or at least getting into a lineup that's faster than the lineup that's going regular.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, we do this every time, but I think it's important because so many people and we know a lot of people in our community are making, their first trip to the expo. And so what are Mikey Singer's general tips for success while attending the expo?
We laugh all the time, but what comfortable shoes. The show gets bigger every year. So be ready to walk. You're going to be, and not only are you walking, but you're not sitting. Like you may stop walking and then that means you're leaning over someone's case, but at no point are you really sitting unless that, those 1 hour points where you're eating during the day. And if you've got a weekend pass, like it's even more, but no matter what, you're going to be walking a ton. Bring cash if you can. Not a ton, set your budget beforehand. And we're going to say also, when you're setting your budget, set what you want. There is everything at the show.
100%.
So if you're coming to buy something, know what you want to buy. Like I went to a show last weekend and I said I wanted to buy a Mo Berg. I went out with that express written desire to do so. I also looked at the price, the comps. I knew what I was looking for, and I went out to find that card, and I knew what I was going to comp out, and it was much easier to do a negotiation. And then in that negotiation, like I said, bring cash. It was much easier, as I said, for the price I wanted. When they said, "Do you have cash?" and I said yes, they smiled. We made the deal. It made it much easier. And then finally is bring your phone. Be ready to use your data. There is no free Wi-Fi over the place. But now we live in a world where if you are shopping, and again, I'm doing this from the buyer's perspective. If you are shopping, and assuming you are going to buy something, if you are shopping, get ready to bring your phone with data and be able to look up what comps are. eBay 180 points. These are, did I say it was 180 point?
130 point, yeah.
130 point. I knew I messed that up. 130 point, eBay are both great options to look up current comps. Sometimes, obviously, it's tougher. The older the card, the more unique the card, the harder it is to comp it. But especially for the modern stuff, and especially if you're looking for anything newer or has a large turnover, you'll be able to find recent comps of it. So that's it. Those are the big things, and come with a great attitude. It's super fun. Honestly, there's a ton of fun people in the hobby, ton of fun families down there. It is definitely going to be times where it is busy, so have some patience, and maybe bring some snacks too.
Yeah, no, that's good. You're going to burn a lot of calories walking around the expo for sure. Well, I know you're a very busy man. Can't wait to see you this week in Toronto. Good luck with everything with the show, but you guys always, I'm sure that it's more chaotic than we see, but it always seems like that you guys run a pretty smooth ship there with the Sport Card Expo.
Thank you. Honestly, it's awesome to have you. It's becoming a tradition now. How many shows in a row is this, Josh, now? Is this 6?
I think this will be the 5th or 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, this is I think this is 6, which is pretty crazy. So you're pretty much a veteran, and it's awesome to see you. And Phil, it'll be great to see you again too. And Baba Louie, I think we met last show.
Oh yeah, yeah. He'll have the biggest crowds. You think Eric Lindros is going to have a big line for autographs? You better hire extra security for Baba Louie. He's got.
Well, that's it. When he's caught capturing content for you, he's going to have to be. People will be leaning in for selfies and stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be hard to do his job.
Hard life.
Can't help it that everyone loves him. So, all right, Mikey. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you this week.
Thank you very much, and looking forward to it, everyone. You can get the stuff on sportcardexpo.com, and we'll see you there.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, thank you to Mikey. Can't wait to see him today, I suppose. All right. What else?
I'm just ready to go. Technically, while you're listening to this, we're really there, but we're not. I just want to go.
Yeah, we're going to be there. It's going to be great. We're there right now while you're listening to it. They don't want to hear us ramble on anymore.
No.
Okay.
We're there. We're fun.
All right. Good job, boys. Well, if you'd like the episode, please leave a rating, review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, want to support us, want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gong Show Discord server, please consider $5 a month donation. Join our $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description with both YouTube and podcast apps. In our Instagram and TikTok profile, on our website, there's a link there, hockeycardsgongshow.com. There's a Become a Patron link, and then Patreon directly, patreon.com. Search for Hockey Cards Gong Show. We're on social media. Follow the Gong Show on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and boys. The Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast is a production of Dogbox Ventures, LLC. Baba Louie, you know what to do.
Bye.
Yo, it's the Gong Show. We're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire. No holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say it, I'm in show.